I've always loved music, and there's just something about a record when you pick it up and you look at the artwork and you feel it, it's just a beautiful thing. So now I've used Spotify and other things, but there's something about picking up a record that people love, and the artwork, it's beautiful.
Hi.
Hi, you alright?
Yeah. So tell me about yourself and FAC 1968.
Alright, so my name's Gary Prail. I've been in Nottingham for many years. I've loved records since I was about, a teenager. I bought records before that, and when I was about 15, 16, I used to work on Oxford Street in London in clothes shops, as on my Saturday job when I was at school and thing. And then I always used to spend my lunch breaks going down buying records. And I always wanted a record shop. And I used to have a record shop from about 95 to about 2004. It was called Funky Monkey, and we sold dance music, and that was in Hockley. And then I sold that, and I went online, selling just on eBay and on a thing called Discogs for the records. And I couldn't use the name Funky Monkey because I'd sold the rights. So I called myself FAC 1968. And the FAC comes from Factory Records. When I was a teenager, I was obsessed by this group called New Order. And they were on Factory Records, and all their catalogue numbers started with FAC. And 1968, because I was born in 1968, so I gave myself a catalogue number, FAC 1968. So we were trading online for years, and gave me a reasonable lifestyle, made a bit of money, but it's quite soul destroying, just sitting at home, and packing up things and not talking to anybody. Sometimes old DJs will ring me up and they'll tell me that they've got a record collection to sell, so then I'll sell it. And then other times people bring stuff in the shop, or I look around and I see them on auctions, or I see them on Facebook Marketplace and things like that. So I just source them from all over the place. The people who are into records see it as a record shop with a few clothes, and then of course for other people it's a clothes shop. And there's a few people who see it as both, but there's usually two distinct customer bases. Hopefully if you're not interested in one thing, you'll find something else. So some of my favourite records that we've got for sale in the shop at the moment, these are quite a random selection, but I'll just show you some. We've got David Bowie on a 7-inch single, and then we've got Sunshine Anderson, Heard It All Before. That always reminds me of my partner. She often used to come out when I was DJing. We knew each other then, we weren't together. And this was one of the records she'd always ask me. When I saw her, I'd always put it on because it's a great sing-along track. Yeah. I think about 80% of the clothes are new, but we mix them in. We have some vintage as well. I don't think it's going to make me rich, but it'll keep me ticking over. I'll be all right. I don't need to be rich, I need to be comfortable. And I've got friends from university who are richer than me in terms of money in the bank, but they're not necessarily richer than me in terms of enjoying their job and having a good life. So I chose a different route. And if you can work with something that is your hobby or your love or your passion, it's brilliant. Many people would love to have a record shop. It's a dream. So I'm very lucky. I was able to realise it, and then it all went wrong and I managed to bounce back. So it's great, it's a great story. I want them to say, oh, that's a great shop, and that it's different, interesting. I want them to think that we were friendly and they felt welcomed, and obviously I want them to think that whatever it was they bought was at a good price, was a fair price, and that they were happy with it. And I want them, when they walk around initially, I want people to have a bit of a wow factor, that they think, oh, you say for example people who just come into town every month or every couple of months and they've got a few shops that they visit, I'd like this to be on their list. And if they buy something, great, but if they don't, like earlier today, a couple of lads you might have seen come in to say they're just regular customers. Today they were just walking by, they come in and say hello. I don't mind if they're not. Today they haven't got any money in their pocket probably, but it's nice that they come in, say hello, and over time they'll come in and buy. It's great.